Today, I'm going to be building a watch from DIY Watch Club, the Mosul Skeleton 38.5mm with a Miyota 8N24 skeleton movement. First thing I did was I took out the crown stem from the case, and then I took out this movement holder. Then I took out the crown from the movement, and now I'm just taking it out because I forgot that it was in there. Next, I take out the movement from the case, put in the new crown from the case to make sure it fits and runs properly. Put the movement holder back in the case, then I put the movement in the movement holder. This takes a while for me to put in because it needs to be aligned perfectly and flat. So here's me trying to put it in. I needed to make sure the crown was at the perfect orientation and the movement was completely flat, and here it is. Next, I tried to put the hands on, which was my first mistake. Here's me putting the hour hand on with the Rodico and a tool to help me align the hour hand. And then next, I put on the minute hand, or I tried to at least. That also takes a really long time, and I use that tool again to make sure it's aligned. This takes like 30 minutes, so it was bad. But once I got it, I realized I had to take it off because I didn't put the dial on. And so I took that off, kept the hour hand in because the dial worked. And then I tested out the hour hand to see if it moved with the stem. And it did, so that made me happy. Next, I took out the dial. Finally, I did that, and I put it in. I put on the watch, and it fit perfectly, which made me really excited because now I knew I could move on to the minute hand. But first, I had to check the alignment of the hour hand. Now I put the minute hand on, made sure it was aligned, and used that tool to properly put it on. But it fell off the first time, and this also took a while once again, but eventually I got it using that tool and my tweezers. Now I'm pushing it down to make sure it's fully inside, and then I align it and make sure it works with the stem. And here you can see it works very well. I didn't make any too big mistakes, right? But eventually I got it. Now I was looking to see if there's any dust and just cleaning it off, making sure nothing actually got in the movement. And now making sure the minute hand is aligned. It was aligned, so now it's time for the case. I took out the cover, made sure there's no dust inside, cleaned it off. Then I made sure the movement was aligned in the case back, and then I checked for any last dust. Now I have to take out the crown to put the movement inside of the case. So I took it out, pressing a little button, then put in the case back. Then now I'm putting on the case. This was a really intense moment because I didn't really know if it was going to fit or not. And as you can see here, I eventually got it after a lot of waiting. There you go. This moment of getting it in was one of the hardest moments, and I was really nervous that it wasn't aligned or something went wrong. But here you can see it went really well. Now I can take the cover off the case back and make sure there's no dust in there, clean it off, make sure everything's good. I try to put the case back on, but then something goes wrong. It doesn't fit, so I have to take it out and check the movement in the case. And what I find is that the movement holder isn't fully pressed down. So what I do is I press it down, make sure it's fully flat and inside of the case. Then I can put on the case back. But first I put in the crown to make sure it works. And here's me putting it in. Making sure it turns and nothing is wrong. Which it does, it works. Just testing if the hands move with the crown as well. That works. Now it's time for the case back. I was really astounded in this moment because the case back was the last thing I needed to do before it was done. And here's me doing my case back. Just have to screw it in now. First using my hands to just screw it on loosely. Then I had the case back opener tool to actually fully lock it in place, making it really tight. Here's me making it in really tight. It was pretty good. It fit well. And now look at the watch. It's done, right? All I need to do now is put on the band and it's done. This is the moment I was really excited. I built a watch. It was amazing to me. I loved this. So here's me putting on the band. I really like this band because it fits really well on my wrist and it also doesn't feel too bad like a normal link band or a leather band, and this has a good quality, so I really appreciate getting this band. So here's me putting it on, and there we go. The watch is finished. This was such an amazing experience. Thank you to DIY Watch Club for all the parts and the explanation of how to make it, and I hope to make watches in the future, and I do have a couple more projects incoming, so thanks for the support, thank you for watching, and I hope that everyone has a good day. If you want to try this out yourself, make sure to check out DIY Watch Club and also my other videos to see the full process of making it. Thank you.